All right, van's packed, we're ready to go. First trip of the year. We can't go anywhere. The battery's dead. This sucks.
So that was my friend Danielle, stuck with a dead starter battery in her Sprinter van. Are you a camper van or RV owner just like Danielle? And have you ever gone to go start your vehicle only to find out that your starter battery is totally dead? But you have solar on your roof and you have batteries that are fully charged? Have you ever asked, why do we still use these old lead acid starter batteries? And why can't my solar batteries just start my van? It seems like terrible design, but there's a reason for it. And today, with my old friend Danielle, we're gonna explain why this problem happens, and we'll look at her Sprinter van and explain how she was able to fix this problem herself. So why do solar vans rely on a starter battery still? So oftentimes, vans have two separate electrical systems. One battery starts the engine, and it runs the headlights, the dash, the power windows, the infotainment system, and all of that is powered by the starter battery. The other one runs your fridge, your extra lights, your fans, your outlets, all the extra things you added into your van. And that is typically called the house battery. And those two are separate on purpose. There's a reason for it, and I'll get to it. The reason we still use lead acid starter batteries is simple. They're really good at delivering a massive burst of current instantly, even when it's really cold outside. A cheap lead acid battery can dump 1,000 amps to turn an engine during startup. This is something most solar batteries just are not designed to do. Typical solar batteries used in a van don't like delivering huge instantaneous current, and they struggle also when it's cold. That's why replacing your starter battery with a lithium battery, it's just really uncommon, and even in high-end vans. That's because solar house batteries are intentionally designed to be deep cycle batteries that maximize energy capacity and cycle life. On the other hand, starter batteries are designed to deliver power and sit at a high state of charge, and they will age rapidly when deeply discharged. Now here's the key issue. Your solar system usually does nothing for the starter battery by default. Most van solar setups use the alternator to charge the house battery, but the starter battery is electrically isolated and basically ignored in the solar battery system. There's a backup plan to recharge your solar battery if there's no solar, but there's no backup plan to recharge your starter battery that starts your van.
What the hell?
Okay, some people have tried to solve this by connecting the starter and the house battery directly together. Don't do that. That's a really bad idea, and I'll explain why.
Let's try the red one again. Not again!
Lithium batteries sit at a higher voltage, which can overcharge a lead acid starter battery. So even though they're both 12 volts, they're really not the same. Plus, they can drain your solar battery, or in a worst case, create a fire risk. Okay, there are some lithium starter batteries out there, and there's some future tech like supercapacitors and sodium ion, but they're expensive and they're still pretty niche. For most vans on the road today, this problem is not going away anytime soon. Okay, so the real fix here is not some high-tech new battery. What you want is a smart way to gently top off your starter battery with your house battery, and a way for them to safely and automatically disconnect. If only there is some like DC-DC charger converter out there that could send power to the starter battery when it's low, it would limit current, and it would disconnect automatically. This would keep your starter battery topped up without overcharging it. Well, this is exactly what Danielle with House to Start designed, because they were frustrated with this problem. Their product is an easy and affordable upgrade, but it completely eliminates one of the most common failure points in a DIY solar van setup. The whole point of the House to Start product is to keep your starter battery charged. All right, let's go back and take a look at Danielle's van and see how they've set up their van to work with the House to Start product. Cue Danielle.
This is the house electrical system in our van. So you're looking at everything from the battery, inverter, and solar charge controller, and also the alternator charger that feed power into this battery right here. This house system is completely separate from the chassis battery right now. So the alternator charger here is taking power from the alternator when the engine is on and then feeding it into the battery. In order to have a reverse charge where the battery that is here in our house system powers the battery, the chassis battery that's underneath our driver's seat, we need to install house to start. And house to start is a little tiny DC-DC charger that will fit right about here for us. And then we will strip the wires, attach all of the attachment points. In order to run our house to start line from the back in our house system all the way up here to the front behind this gray quarter panel all the way through the wall, and then it comes out right there on the floor. And what we're looking at here is the end runs for all of the wires that go from house to start and the alternator charger up to the front of the vehicle. And what we've done here is added a breaker to the CCP connection point. So in our van, the 2019 Ford Transit, we have one CCP connection point, and this is what is actually physically connected to the chassis battery. The wires that come up go through a fuse and then through a breaker for house to start in the alternator charger, and then they go into the CCP here to allow current to go from the front and back of the vehicle through these 2 points. All right, let's get out of here. So nice when the van starts. Let's go.
All right, thanks Danielle. So even if you have a solar powered van, your starter battery can still die. It's crazy, I know, but that's what House to Start wanted to solve. They've created an affordable product for you to fix that problem. So just so you know, I'm not getting sponsored for this video. I just really like the product and wanted to make a video about it. And I liked it so much, I'm making it available on my web store. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't know, I have a web store, Off-Grid Solar Store. I sell lots of different products, mostly for people who are doing DIY solar and battery stuff for your home, for your van, for small projects. Mainly it's a place for you to learn how to build and do your own solar and battery projects. All the products on the site are curated by me, and I only put things on there that I found useful in my own build projects. So as always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hey babe, let's get a Sprinter van. You want to get a Sprinter van? I think they're only like 60K or something. Let's get a Sprinter van. Let's get one.